All right, testing. Are we live? Let's see. How do we know? I think I'm probably live. Looks like I'm live. Yeah, looks good. Okay. Is my audio good? All right, test. Yeah. Okay, great. Okay, good. All right, exciting day today. I found out I have access to Grok 3. That's exciting. That is very exciting. So, Grok 3 is here. A lot of hype around Grok 3, and we want to test it out today. How good is it? I have been internally, for myself, benchmarking these LLMs on coding projects for a long time. I've been thinking a lot about benchmarking LLMs, and I want to run all the big players through my set of benchmarks today. So we'll test ChatGPT 03, we'll test Claude Sonnet, we'll test Gemini, we'll test Grok 3. That's the plan. So I want to create like a notebook, like a notepad, a website, which will serve as like a document of these tests so that we can save our work and show our work. We're going to give all the different models a different, we give all the different models a prompt, and we're going to document the results. Okay. Okay. So the way I want to do that, the way I want to make this document is to create a web app where I can just add blocks of text and then also add blocks of HTML output. So the text will describe sort of what we're looking at. The text might be like header text saying this is the prompt, or maybe header text will be like prompt 1, prompt 2, prompt 3, and then there'll be a description body text, a block of text that says this is the prompt that we're giving to LM. And then maybe there'll be like a subheader text for like the different models. And then there'll be an HTML block. And the HTML block is going to run in an iframe, and it will show the output. That's basically it. That's the plan. And we'll run this for all the different models. So let's, I have this app here. Right now it's just an empty React app. Let's communicate to Klein what exactly we want to build. I'll note that I'm currently using Gemini Flash. I find that Gemini Flash is not quite as good as Claude 3.5, but it is much faster and much cheaper. So the pattern here is we'll rely on Gemini Flash 2.0 as long as we can. And then if we need to switch to Claude, we can. But I think for our purposes, it should be more than enough. So we're now telling Klein what exactly we want to do. Please create a simple, minimal, structured note-taking app. In this app, I should be able to build a document by adding content blocks. I'll reveal what I'm doing here. I asked ChatGPT to help me articulate this problem that I had, this vision that I had, and it did. It gave me some notes on how to sort of formulate what I'm looking for. So I'm sort of reading these notes as I type to Klein what I'm asking. So anyway, instead of free-form typing, the user should be able to specify a content block of type, header 1, header 2, or text. The user can add these blocks to the document, set the text in these blocks, delete blocks, etc. Okay, I need to step away for 1 second. I will be right back. We are back. Okay. Looks like that went by pretty fast. How are we doing here, by the way? Okay. Cool. All right. Sorry about that. Let's see what we got. I've created a minimal structure note-taking app. You can add content blocks of type header 1, header 2, and text. You can set the text in these blocks, delete blocks, or edit the text in each block. I've also added some basic styling. Great. Yeah, run the command npm start. Let's see if that works. Okay. Okay, great. Thank you, Klein. So text, header. I mean, looks pretty awful, but it's what I want. I mean, ugh, it looks so bad. Okay, we're actually gonna pass this to we're gonna have to make this look a little better. But I mean, this is a start. This is okay. It's a start. Whew, it just looks so awful. What exactly did it do? All right, we're gonna switch over to Claude 3.5 because that is not a good look. Sonnet. Okay. That's Claude 3. I need 3.5. Okay, done. It's just an app file here. Okay, so let's articulate to Klein exactly what we need. Please modify this note-taking app to have a more modern and condensed feel. The edit and delete buttons should be replaced by edit and delete icons that appear when a user hovers over a block. What does edit do? Yeah, okay, edit is fine. Okay, let's start with that. I want this to look a little bit nicer. So I was a little bit disappointed in that first pass by Gemini. Let's get some library here. Okay, npm start. No, I don't want another port. I don't want you to run it. No, no, no. Okay, here we go. Okay, this is looking a lot better. This is a little bit better. Okay, great. There's still a ton of spacing here, but I mean we're on the right track now. Okay, so what I can do is I could say like test one. Whoopsie daisy. Okay, it's a bug. Changed on change for the input, set new block text here. Add contents block. I bet I need prevent default. Does that do it? That wasn't it. Okay. Good. Well, certainly looking a lot better. Definitely real progress here. Let's go back to Klein. Let's say currently I am unable to edit a text block. Whenever I type any character, I am instantly kicked out of edit mode. Okay. Another thing we need to do is we need to persist the content of our document somewhere. I mean, we'll need a backend, maybe. How do we want to handle persistence right now? Persistence is going to be very important. Okay, let's see if that worked. Heading 1, it's going to be test 1. Add block, edit. Great. Enter. Good. Header 2 would be like Grok, add block. Header 3, or this would be, prompt testing. Okay. Good. We're getting there. So honestly, what happens if this is empty? I get this. Okay. Okay. Whenever I add a new block to the document, it should be added in edit mode. How are we going to handle persistence here? It's an interesting question. I think we'll have to add a backend. It's a bit annoying. All right, so add a block. Good. Testing. Good. 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 So we can get rid of this now. So this is going to go away, excuse me. So text colon. We don't need you. Here, this is going to go away. Great. Honestly, it should be the bottom, right? This div here should really be underneath the blocks. Let's do that. Okay. Header 1. Okay. Okay. Cool. let's make a commit. Let's make sure we don't lose anything. Okay, obviously we're not going to stress so much about the look and feel. I'm much more interested in getting us to a place where we can start testing. But I would like, okay. For the blocks of type text, the text should appear left aligned on the page. And when editing a block of type text, the user should be typing in a text area whose width fills the width of the page. Is that right? Width of the main content area. Let's try that. Cool. So we're getting close. I want to be able to persist this document so that I can safely refresh the page. That's very important. And I want to add another block type, which is going to be HTML. And the HTML is just going to be the code that we get back from these LLMs when we do our tests, so that we can actually, of course, see the output result in this document, which is the whole point of making this document in the first place. No, it's already running. Come on. All right, add block. There we go. Now we're talking. Great. And then how do I save it? Oh, okay, good. Losing focus seems to save it, but it loses. So this block here, block content, needs white space preserve. So also there seems to be a lot of gap, but we can fix that later. So this is block content right here of type P. Just do white space preserve wrap. Okay, we should be good now. What is this? This big div. What is that div? I don't know. I don't love it, but I'm not gonna worry about it. Testing, testing, testing. Add the block. Header. Testing. Okay. Okay. Could be better. Could be worse. We're gonna roll this for now. I can delete this guy. I can delete blocks. Okay. We're on the right track. Let's make sure we can persist this result. So let's make a commit. Okay. Let's go back here. Let's say it's a bit annoying. What I think I need to do this right is reveal and oopsies. Okay. So we have timeline here. I'm gonna make a new folder called front end and a new folder called back end. And I'm gonna put everything here into front end. Let me make sure I'm not missing any crucial files. So the get and get ignore stay in the root. This all gets moved to front end. I'm gonna close this. I can leave it open, I guess. Yeah, to front end like that. Great. And let's yeah, this is gonna be broken. No. Okay. Get status. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Get add dash A. Do I need to fix the get ignore? I do. Cancel. Get ignore. Please update my .gitignore to address to account for the new folder structure of this project. Honestly, it's just as simple as saying front end, right? And probably front end here and front end here. I don't know what PNP is. I bet that may have fixed it. Git status, git add dash a. Yeah, git status. Okay, much better. Git commit, backend directory. Okay. Now let's actually make a backend. Please add a backend, a simple Node.js backend project. What is it? Express.js probably is what it's going to use, with an API that can receive a JSON file, write, and save the contents of that JSON file to disk. To the backend folder. Okay. We're still able to run here. Let's test that out. Let's go npm start. All right, cd front end npm start. Right. Yeah, so this is back. Okay. Express.js. Cool. Server running on port 3001. It wants to execute a commit. Okay, that looks promising. It's not obvious to me. Yeah, so yeah, procedural running. Okay, yeah, that's what I need to do. Okay, great. Because I missed the fact that there's an npm start at the end. Got a little confused there. Okay, task complete. So now, if I do this post, okay. So now I want to say, please add a save button to this app. Clicking the save button should serialize the contents of the current document to JSON and post that content to the backend API. What endpoint is it? Index.js has an upload. Let's say, is this going to work? It doesn't really take a string. So let's just say to a backend API endpoint that will save this content to disk. Okay. All right. Cool. Okay, npm start. No, I don't want to restart. Okay, so the front end should be good. Let's restart it this way. npm start. So the front end and back end should both be running. If I add a text block here, testing, here, save, saved. Now if I come here, there it is. Great. And if I go header, testing 1, 2, 3, and header 2, testing 1, 2, 3. You should also be left aligned. Oh God. Okay. All right, save. It saves a new document every time. Okay. So this is good. This is good. We're getting there. Yeah, and we'll just roll with this. I'm not going to stress about tightening this up just now. It's not a sequential ID, is it? No. This is it. This must be a timestamp. Yeah. Okay. This is fine. This is good. So let's just tell Klein here. Whenever I refresh the app should query the API for the most recent version of the JSON document saved in the backend uploads directory, and that JSON document should be deserialized into the into content blocks on the front end. Say editable. Okay. So this will close the save load loop. And once that's in a good spot, we are ready to add an HTML content block, which will be really cool, and put us in a position to do my benchmarking. Okay, it makes a commit. That's fine. Error loading document. Why? Latest. Where's the back end running? Interesting. Okay, now the back end's running. There we go. There we go. Check it out. So let's add a new text block. This is the latest document. Close here, save, refresh, boom. Okay, very pleased. Save, great. Obviously, it's a little data heavy because we're saving a new document file every time, but I'm not worried about that right now. I'm just pleased. So now we need to add a new content block. And this content block is going to be HTML content that's going to render in an iframe. Let's make sure we commit all our changes here. Am I in the right place? Yeah, okay, I guess so. I guess, yeah, we already made a commit. Okay, good. That's why I was wondering why there's no changes, but I remember that Klein made the commit for me. So that's cool. All right, so now we're going to say This is where it starts to get more fun. Please add an HTML type, a new HTML type content block. This text, when in edit mode, the content block should be editable as a text area. When not in edit mode, the content of the block should be rendered in an iframe as HTML. Okay, let's see if this works. Let me analyze the task. I need to first understand the current app.tsx, add a new HTML content block type. So now we need some HTML. So let's say, please give me a HTML file with a simple, 3D particle simulation. Let's see if this works. Cool, looks promising. What's happening here? So it says it successfully added the HTML block. Let's see for ourselves. Cool. Add block. Let's copy this code I just got here. Remind me later. Copy. Nope. Edit. Paste. There we go. Cool. Cool. That is what I wanted to see. The height should be higher and the width should be wider. 100%. Not doing what I wanted there. Huh. Right, because this is not the iframe. This is the iframe. So this is the iframe. This is width 100%. That's fine. Min height, let's say I made 600. That's a little nicer. And if I made it wider, okay. So let's just set the min height on that iframe to 500. No. HTML. I didn't save it. Let's try this again. Copy, edit, paste. Here we go. I just wanted to reset the height on the iframe. So the iframe is here. Min height is set to 200 pixels. Set it to 500 pixels, and it looks a little better. Cool. So this is how we're going to store our results. And if I save it, this is the test actually, which we haven't run yet. For all I know, this might fail. It didn't fail. Great. So we are cooking here. Let's keep going. I think we're ready to start testing. I mean, it looks a little bit ugly. I wish I didn't look so bad. But we're close. I don't mind that so much. Let's left align the headers. I don't like that they're right aligned. So how do I do that? Text align. Left, I think. H2. All right, so there should be an H2 CSS here. Is it centered? Text align left for H2 and H1. The spacing is a little dramatic. I don't know why there's so much spacing. So margin, no margins. That didn't make anything better. What is that coming from? Line height 1.4. Is this helping? That wasn't what I needed. Let me just track down this yellow padding. Hmm. Okay. It's not obvious to me where that's coming from right now. Is that it? All right, let's I'm not going to worry about it right now. What's the padding like on this guy? Also has it, right? Does the HTML block have it? No. The content block has some padding. That's that. Nice. Okay, that's it. I found a content block. Let's get rid of that. That's a big improvement. It took me a while to track that down. But there's a 0.5 right here, which is making it really loose, and I don't like it. So this I like better. Okay. Okay. Let's refresh. Okay, good. Commit some changes here, and let's start benchmarking. So I have a list of benchmark questions. And to do the benchmark, we're going to open up all the different candidates. Honestly, the particle simulation one could be our first benchmark. Why not? So let's do it. Let's make this our first benchmark. Let's delete this guy. There's no easy way to insert here, is there? That's okay. We don't need to insert. We can copy it in again. Let's say a heading, header 1. We'll call this test 1. Particle simulation. Let's add a header 2. We'll say chat GPT. Which one is this? Should be 4.0. Yep. We'll call this chat GPT 4.0. And the prompt is this. Did I lose it? That's the prompt. And the HTML is that. And save. There we go. That's GPT 4.0. Let's do, let's open up the whole crew. We need Claude 3.5. And I have a whole bunch of benchmarks I want to run. So we can come here. We're up to header 2. This one is Claude 3.5 Sonnet. Yeah, the order's wrong, but it's okay. Not gonna worry about that. I can change that later. Cool. Check that out. Huh. Love it. So I mean, here already you can see the differentiation. It's so cool, right? You don't see it cut off. You can already see the differentiation here. This is Claude 3.5 Sonnet. Toggle gravity. Add particles. So freaking cool, right? A more complex simulation. Grok. Google Gemini. .0 Flash. Thinking experimental. Header 2. Grok 3. HTML. Okay. There you go. I think this is freaking cool. Claude did gravity. And we can compare. Honestly, I think Grok 3 is a little more interesting than GPT 4.0. We should have a reload button for each of these. Let's make sure we save. Let's try Gemini. Thinking experimental. This may not be ready yet. Super fast. Super fast. Let's see what we got. This is header 2 for Gemini 2.0. Oopsies. 2.0 Flash Thinking. HTML. Add block. Something go wrong? Huh. Oh, it's there. It's just hard to see it. Okay. Interesting. Very interesting. All right, let's save this. Some quality of life improvements. Okay, we'll live with this for now. We'll live with this for now. That's our test number 1. I mean, we can all have our own opinions. I think obviously Claude 3.5 Sonnet is the obvious winner. Second place might be Grok 3 here. But we need to do more testing. My original plan was to do a single notebook with all the tests. I think that's actually going to get a little bit out of hand. I no longer want to do that. I changed my mind. So let's do something a little different. Let's say I want to pass a URL parameter to load the corresponding document by ID. These IDs are clearly just timestamps, but that's fine for our little test application. I'm not worried about that. I don't think I have any outstanding changes. I doubt it. Indeed, I don't. I want to say like this. Please make it possible for me to pass an ID to the URL root that corresponds to a file. What's the name of that folder again? Let's pop client out. To a file in the backend uploads directory. So localhost 3000 / 123 should load the document document _123.json to the app. Let's see if that works. So with that, we can actually have multiple different pages for each experiment. I think that'll be a little easier to deal with. Let's close this. Can I close this down? Okay. Let me see if I can find something here. It's not so trivial. Let's see what the best way to do this is. Okay. Did we freeze up? No, we're okay. Okay, good. Awesome. I'm sending a. All right. So yeah, it wants to run it again. Let's see here. We already have it running. We should be good. So the tricky thing is getting that ID. It's a bit of a pain, but let's get an early one. Let's go rename. Oh, the ID's right there. No, it's not there. That's the block ID. All right. Let's try. Let's see. I'm a little skeptical this is going to work right out of the box. Yeah, it didn't work at all. Okay. 404 error. It's being difficult. Okay, well. The issue is likely the root order in the back end. Okay. So it looks like it may have tracked down the bug. Okay. The backend server is running again. Great. Great, we did it. Okay, great. Let's stop here. Great, it works. So if I refresh this, yeah. Okay. So now if I get this ID here, this is our first test document. This was test number 1. Cool. And we'll just preserve it. We tested GPT-4o, Claude 3.5 Sonnet, Grok 3. Oh, and this one worked, even though it looks hard to tell. What we didn't test, we can also add to our test list, is actually 3o. But, I mean, there actually are a lot of other tests I want to run here, to be honest. But let's just quickly run a test on 3o as well. 3o mini high. So we come here, copy this out again. Let's just run this guy. Let's add to my document here. Ooh, so this now gets a little tricky, right? When I save to a particular ID, it should make sure to save the corresponding file. Let me make sure that, let me ask Klein if that's correct. If I load up a particular document with a URL parameter ID and I save the file, I want the file to be saved to that same corresponding document that was originally loaded. Is that the current behavior of the app? If not, please implement that behavior. What does it say? The document ID correctly retrieved from the URL parameters. The document is loaded. However, the save document function does not use the document ID when saving. It just posts the content blocks to save without specifying the document update. Right, that's what I assumed. Okay, so let's see here. So what that will allow me to do is to update this document with the results that we're going to get from 3.0 here. 3.0 mini high after thinking for 6 seconds. Cool, cool. So let's let that run. Made a commit. Let's test it out. So to test it, I'm just going to add a heading 2, and we're going to call this chat GPT 3.0 mini high. Did we lose it? Chat GPT 3.0 mini high. Okay, we leave this one. So now we have this new code block. I hit save, error saving. That's annoying. What's my error? That's my payload. What's my response? Just an error. Nothing in the log. Okay. When I try to save to an existing document, I get an error. Here's the error. Status code 404. Yeah. Document at the save. I might need to restart the server. No, I don't think so. Endpoint. I get a 404. error response. Okay. Let's see if that helps. So I still have 4.0 mini high at the bottom. I hit save. Still get an error. Do I need to refresh the page? Let's add a header 2. Test. Save. Still failure. Not found. Can restart the backend. I don't think that's going to be an issue here, but won't hurt to try that. Text. Oh, that now worked. Okay, and if I refresh, great. Okay, so that was all I needed. Okay, good. So now we're going to do GPT 3.0 high. It's like mini high, I think, right? But that's fine. GPT 3.0 mini high. That's fine. GPT 3.0 high. Let's add the HTML that we got from here. And this will be our last result. Add block. Okay. Interesting. Okay, cool. Not so different from what we saw before. Different physics. All right, we got to move on, though. This is going to take too long otherwise. Save it. Done. That's test 1 particle simulation. Now we need to do test 2. So we go here. There's no easy way to get a new document now, is there? That's sort of funny. Yeah, I mean, the next quality of life improvements would be to clear out a document, make a new document. Let's ask client to do that for us. Okay, let's say next to the save icon, please add a create a clear document button. Page add a let's say new document button. This button should navigate to create a new document in the uploads folder and navigate the user to the URL with the document ID corresponding to the newly created empty document. Okay. We're an hour in, and we just started testing. And there's a lot of tests I want to do. But I want these tests to sort of have some, lasting potential. And so I'm trying to, collate them into a format that they can be published and shared. So that's sort of the goal here. And this is, I think a success. We have a new button at the top of the page that says new. Looks really nice. We made a commit. I don't want to start the app again. What's it doing here? Okay, so let's see if this works. I come here. I refresh the page. Good. I press new. I have a document. Whoopsies. Come back. I say testing. I come here and I refresh. Didn't load properly because I didn't save it. That makes a lot of sense. Testing. Save. And that works. Great. Great, 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 great. So let's move on. We did one test. We did particle simulation test, but there's a lot of tests to do. So let's go on to the next test. I want to do, yeah, a very well-known common test that I've seen a lot of people do, and we're going to do it now. This is going to be test 2, bouncing ball test. Seen a lot of people do this test. Header 2, GPT-4o. And it looks like this. Please create an HTML file with the following physics simulation. The following 2D physics simulation. A ball bounces off the interior walls of a square. The ball should never leave the inside of the square. Without the effects of gravity. Without the effect of gravity. A ball forever All right, that's our prompt. Let's save it. So this will be our text block. Oh, yeah, I get the order wrong. Let's do this one, then header 2, GPT-4o, and then we'll do HTML. Is it finished? All right, let's copy it out. Woo! Bit of a disaster, but I like it. Let's go. Claude is next. Header 2. Claude 3.5 Sonnet. HTML. Wow. So much better. I mean, it's amazing, right? Claude Sonnet is an old model, man. It's still so good. How do they do that, Anthropic? What magic? What magic? Okay, it's a little glitching. Some maybe? Now I'm not seeing any glitches. Oh. It's okay. This still wins. I mean, it did it. It looks nicer when they run it in this sandbox environment, interestingly. I don't see any glitches here. So something with the iframe is a little different here. It glitches out. Interesting. But, I mean, it got it right. It passed the test. Let's go on to Grok. Let's see how Grok does, this massive model. Yeah, we haven't tried think. We'll turn on think if we need to. If we think that we're not getting a good result, we'll try it with think. Let's give it a shot. This would be Grok 3. Failed. Quite a miserable failure there. Let's try Gemini 2. How do I get a new chat here? So fast. Superhuman stuff. Never ceases to amaze. Okay, copy it in. Gemini 2. Gemini 2. Flash thinking. Let's be precise. Okay. HTML. Yeah, got it. Looks good to me. It's hard to know if the physics are perfect. I think they are. Very impressive. Very impressive. Let's give Grok another try with the thinking model. We could do Grok 3 thinking. We didn't try that last time. If we give it one more chance, we go new, think. What we really need down here is just 4 buttons. This is disastrous UI, which is actually killing me. So let's make sure I have no outstanding changes. I don't think I do. We're going to say, close this. Let's see, where's that drop down? Okay. Please replace this UI component. How many buttons? Is it 4 buttons? I think it's 4 buttons, right? Yeah, text 1, 2, and HTML. With yeah, obviously. With 4 buttons. Yeah. Corresponding to the 4 block types. Clicking one of the buttons should add the new block type to the document. Okay, let's do that. Okay, Grok is still thinking. Very interesting. Final answer. Okay, thought for a minute, 36 seconds. Great. Header 1, header 2, add text. Okay, beautiful. That's an improvement. So let's add header 2 for, oh, that's not exactly right. Uh-oh. Grok 3 thinking. Doesn't look right. No. It's a little confused. Oh my gosh, they're all backwards. Oh no. Okay. That's sort of funny. HTML text header 2. How did this happen? That's troubling. I don't really want. Oh no, I didn't save it. Ugh. That's another killer. I didn't save it. Oh, what a shame. Okay, well, I'm gonna come back. I'm not gonna rebuild this whole document now. We got the general idea. We'll see the results of the new Grok 3. And I'm gonna fix this bug, because this bug is a little bit nuts. This header, I think, is the HTML. Okay, so let's go. Refresh the page. Header 1. Header 2. Header 3. This is clearly HTML. Header 4. No, it's not so clear which one's which. Okay. So add text is header 2. Header 2 is header 1. I think header 1 is text. That's HTML. And this is text. I think. No. Okay, crazy bug here. Okay, header 2 is clearly HTML. Header 2 is HTML. Oh, I made the wrong change. I see what I did wrong. Okay. Okay. So header 1 is text. So this becomes add text. Header 2 is header 1. Add text is header 2. Add HTML Yeah, so those are backwards. This is add HTML. This is add text. I mean, there's a pretty fundamental issue, apparently. But at least this should now work. What a mess. All right. Ooh, God, it still doesn't work. Why? Why is it all scrambled? Okay, we're going to revert that change. We'll have to come back to this. It's not worth trying to debug it now. We'll have to come back to that later. Disappointing. But I don't want to spend any more time on that right now. We have a UI that works. The last piece here for the bouncing ball was just Grok 3. So let's say header 2, Grok 3 thinking, HTML, add the block. We got this guy. What is this? Looks like it got it. Looks like it got it. As far as I can tell. Let's put Claude 3.5 Sonnet back in here. Yeah, I got it thinking. When it thought for a minute and a half, it was able to do it. Oh, why did it die? Oh my God, it didn't do it. It lost it. It left the square. So anyway, let's save the file this time. That's the story. If I refresh, we shouldn't lose it. We didn't lose it this time. Great. Let's move on. That was experiment number 2. So we have experiment number 1, experiment number 2. I'm debating. I'm tempted to just put these back in because it's actually not so long, and I do want to keep them around. So let's say Gemini 2.0 thinking. Let's put it back in. I like this result. Actually, I would rather just put it back in. Cool. Save. You know, we could just auto save. But yeah, and then the last one was this guy. GPT-4o. Yeah, GPT-4o. We didn't do, let's do yeah, this one sort of failed for 4o. So let's just try this with thinking. O3 mini. Let's say GPT 3.0 mini high. See if we can get a better result. And I would love to move on to the next experiment. Thinking time was 22 seconds. It's pretty short. We'll see. Could be fine. Yeah, it looks really good, actually. Really nice. Okay, so who wins? Yeah, as far as I could tell, that's correct. I think there's some optical illusion that makes it look like the ball's not going in a straight line, but I don't think that's actually true. I think it is going in a straight line. Honestly, I think Grok 3 thinking is the only one that failed. GPT thinking model, let's save so we don't forget. GPT thinking model, Gemini 2.0 thinking model, they all got it. So yeah, we need to save automatically, really. That should be a fairly easy change. Let's say whenever I change the contents of any, whenever I add or change the contents of any block in my document should automatically save. Let's try that. Okay, what's the next benchmark? Okay, let's see if it works. So the idea here is if I add a new header block and I say test 1 and I refresh, oh no. Possibly the server is down. I bet that's it. Let's see. So I have the front end running. So let's go cd okay. There we go. And it didn't seem to add it. Header, maybe because the backend was down. That would make sense. Test, and I refresh, and it's still not there. What happened to 3.0 mini high? It's there now. Network. Test. That's also a bug. Document saved successfully. The ID looks right. Refresh. Now it's there. Interesting. So I guess there's maybe like an off by 1. I think it's not getting the latest change. Yeah. But if I do this and I leave it and I come back and I do this. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, a bug. But we're not going to fix it now. A known bug. It doesn't quite work. It doesn't save the latest change. Interesting. Okay. So it saves like the second to last change. Let's move on. What's next? Let's do some terrain. Okay. Let's call this header 1. Test 3. Terrain generation. Let's say text. Create an HTML file that demonstrates. Let's not do this now, please. How a terrain that visualizes a 3D terrain being generated using Perlin noise. See if that works. Let's start with Claude 3.5. It's pulling in libraries. Wonder if that will create any issues. Man, Claude is working hard. Oh no. Oh no, there's an error here. I guess we could say it failed. I think it just shot too hard. I mean, we can paste in this code and see what happens, but if it failed in that visualizer, I suspect it's gonna fail here too. Yeah. Okay, clearly there's an error. Let's try this prompt with 3.0. Mini high. It thought for 14 seconds. And it gave me a file. Looks less ambitious than Claude. Nothing here. Okay. I mean, it is what it is. Let's keep going. Let's try Grok 3 thinking. I bet Claude is really close to having something amazing. I'm seeing the following console error in the console. I mean, this is clearly a very hard benchmark question. Let's say Grok 3 thinking. Nothing. So I suspect that maybe we're dealing, with a sandbox issue. Not quite, though. No, it's not really the issue. I thought maybe we weren't able to pull in. Maybe it's the issue. Maybe we're not able to pull in these third-party dependencies within the iframe. I'm not really sure. Well, let's test. I mean, let's not risk. Yeah, it's easy to verify one or the other. So save this file. We'll call this grok3.html. We'll save it in the root. And I come here. Reveal in Finder. Does this work? No. It doesn't work here either. So it's not necessary. I doubt it's a iframe issue. It's just an issue with the code. Okay. That's good to know. I mean, so it seems like a legitimate failure. Claude did it. Look what Claude did. Okay. After iterating on these errors with Claude, what a maniac Claude is. Are you kidding me? Crazy. Is that crazy or what? It's insane that after all this time, Claude is still the champion. How crazy is that? How crazy is that? Oh my God. I mean, of course, if we wanted to be generous, we can ask, 3.0 mini and Grok to try again also with their errors. I don't doubt that they'll be able to improve as well. Yeah, I mean, let's. This is now 3.0. The user's encountering an error. Okay, updated version. It's struggling. Yeah, it's a hard task. It seems to be the same error. I'm gonna give up on 3.0. And we're going to try Grok again. Let's see if we can get Grok to work. I mean, let's give it a few more tries. I'm seeing the following errors in the log. There's a lot more benchmarks we can run. I think we should run a few more. So it's giving me instructions, putting it all together. Let's try it. Oh, it's still writing. Okay. Grok 3, chance to redeem itself. 100 lines. It's not pulling in the file. 3. I want to help it. Where's the improved noise? Improved noise.js. Is that it? Improved noise. This is the file. View raw. Here we go. Let's see if this helps. The version is 0.130 apparently. That was the issue. So if I replace these with 130, no errors, but no result. Okay. There's a lot more benchmarking we could do. There's a lot more simulations we can run. What other simulations can we run? I'll read you my list here. These are the experiments that I do when I want to, do my own benchmarking. Pathfinding visualization using A-star, fractal tree generator, maze generator. That's a cool one. Game of life simulation. It's a cool one. Sorting algorithm visualizer. Raycasting 2D engine. That's a cool one also. Fourier series visualization. Let's do that one and we'll call it a day. Let's do one more and we will be done. Interesting how we couldn't get the others to work, but we were able to get Claude to work. And man, did it knock it out of the park. Amazing. I want to do one more. Let's try Fourier series visualization. Fourier series visualization. Please create an HTML file with a visualization demonstrating how a Fourier series can approximate a square wave using multiple sine waves. And I think this will be the last one for tonight. Let's start with Claude 3.5 Sonnet. What's the takeaway of all this? Oh man, in practice, it's crazy. I think Claude 3.5 Sonnet often beats the thinking LLMs like GPT 3.0 and Gemini thinking. Gemini Flash thinking experimental and Grok, which is crazy. And it's not really what the benchmarks would tell you, because, you know, the benchmarks claim that the thinking models are better in general than Claude 3.5 Sonnet. But I mean, Sonnet's been around for a long time, more than a year at least, and no one's beaten it. Wild. What an amazing visualization here. It went all out. We'll try Grok 3. Grok 3 thinking. So hard to beat this result. Amazing what the Anthropic team accomplished. And we'll also try GPT-03. And we'll also try Gemini. And we'll come here. We're waiting on Grok. I mean, in summary here, I have no interest in using Grok because I don't particularly care for the leadership of the company. But man, are we excited? Are we ready for another version of Anthropic? I mean, that's gonna be wild. If we get a thinking model or a Claude 4, it's gonna be incredible. Okay. A nice result from Grok. Yeah, I mean, a perfectly passable, nice result. Not as elaborate and, I mean, impressive as what Claude 3.5 Sonnet did, but it definitely understood the assignment. No question about that. We're up to now, after Grok, we need Chat GPT 4.0, 3.0. Is it 03? I probably wrote 3.0 a few times when I should have written 03. 03 mini high. Interesting. Really nice. Really beautiful result. Yeah, so nice. Because of course the Fourier series is actually a series of circles that intersect like this. A beautiful result. Different from Claude 3.5 Sonnet. Amazing, amazing, amazing. And let's last do Gemini. And then we will call it for the night. Gemini Flash thinking. Really beautiful result there from ChatGPT. And this is probably very similar to what we saw from Grok. And let's save it. And I think we're done here. I think this was a very cool experiment. I'm grateful if you joined me. Have a good night.